Yo,
What's
up?
Yo.
Geektastic Cypher, Free X Agents Media, home of Geektastic Cypher. That's Canon podcast. The replays and the YouTubeification of the That's Canon podcast episodes are available on the YouTube right now. I've started posting them up every second Saturday. You guys can check them out. They live stream on Twitch and on YouTube, and then you can just listen back to it afterwards. The live stream is just audio, so it's just a specific time, same bat time, same bat channel, as the geeks used to say back in the day.
Did we never do those live, like on a live to record the video versions?
We have one that was recorded. We never did the show live. I think we did it on a Mixler once, but I don't think we really ever told anybody.
Dang. I kind of miss a format of like a show like that where we just kind of watch or read something and then discuss it afterwards. Maybe not read, because I feel like I don't have time to read anymore these days.
But man, there are some classic times. Like I will never forget the first was it Judgment? Was it called Judgment Call? That was us facing each other, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one with me and Toby got pretty vicious pretty quick.
Well, I posted if you guys
against our characters, not against each other, but like we laced into each other.
If you guys are listening to this now and you're on our YouTube channel, feel free to go check it out, because there's a highlight on Twitch and a clip on YouTube of the Shatterstar versus Red Tornado Judgment Call,
right,
which is one of the best ones, especially because of how it ends. I won't spoil it for you, but someone decides to keep going when the battle is done. It turns into an argument. even though the person. But anyways, I won't give any more, but go check them out. The clips are kind of fun. It's been fun listening back to those as they just play.
Same. I've actually just had it on in the background lately too. Same with some of our past episodes of this show, because sometimes I used to listen back a lot. Usually like right after the show I'll listen back, but in the past few months I just haven't had a chance. So just listening back sometimes to some of the sections that I'm like, what were we saying? Like it's hilarious. I think we're funny sometimes.
It's wild times, man.
It is.
I think one of my favorite episodes would be the Empress one.
Oh yeah,
that was a great book.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was good. That was an unexpectedly good book.
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
Amazing.
It is such a good read. Jaws D just sitting there being like, "Yes, Empress."
Yes, I'm a part of the podcast. Yes.
All right, man.
I mean, come on. Like you're talking about another show, and your guys are all the discussions you've had.
Well, let's brag a bit. You still have Transformer Slag, right? You're still jumping on with Proto Man every once in a while. How's that
every once in a while? Yeah, it's going pretty good. He's holding it down all day, every day. Something's going down. Some news.
Yeah, he's doing the daily now.
Yeah. And then on the Saturdays, he's doing the live stream around, I think, 8 o'clock ish, if I remember right.
8 p.m.
So yeah, so he's doing all right. He's doing good.
That's dope. That's wild.
Sweet, man. So we're never gonna talk Kanye on this show, huh?
You guys can talk.
We're skinny. We're skinny.
The reason
I'm already here with my bag of Kanye, and he's just like not here. And I'm like, no.
For me, it's more just a factor of like I'm bored with him now.
Yeah, you know what? It is a lot of the same.
Yeah, like at some point, like if you're supposed to be one of the most influential genius talents of a generation, I should never be bored. You should be reinventing so much that I'm always finding what you're doing new and interesting. And this is feeling like a lot of rinse and repeat. And much like the last album felt like rinse and repeat, I'm getting really bored. So I'm like, and that's why it's true.
It feels like a marketing. It feels like a marketing thing at this point.
So
like every time something's coming out, he's going to do something. Something happens that makes him go on this public tirade.
Especially when he's like hiring his buddies. It's just like, hey, Che, I'll pay you to never have to see his face again. And then Che is over there putting a carousel of like, you have to pay me this much, and give free music to my band, the Scuttlebutts. And it's like, okay, this is. Dude,
I will say this right now. I don't think
Scuttlebutts.
Deep down, I don't think he really cares who his wife is with. Like, if he did, he wouldn't have gotten with her in the first place. Like, she has a sex tape out, bro. You know what I mean? So
that he was obsessed with.
To be
Right?
fair,
it's like a right-wing new age cuck or something. Anyway, sorry.
Well,
go ahead.
To
John.
be fair, when he got with his wife, she wasn't all the way divorced yet. Last time I checked, Chris Humphries was still there, being like, "Yo, what?"
Like I said, this is more of the same. Rinse and repeat. The entire relationship and the entire build of their empire, quote unquote, is just rinse and repeat.
And to be fair, I mean, like he's always talking about, oh, I hope God brings my family back together, and she shouldn't be with him, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, she's a grown ass woman.
Yeah,
she made you 4 kids.
Yeah.
She bailed you out when you're asking Mark Zuckerberg for money on Twitter. I mean, like she put up with you when you were doing your presidential campaign, talking about how you wanted her to get an abortion for your first child. That's on print, man.
Yeah.
Your
like
kid has to go to
think
school
he's thinking
with that.
I don't think he's thinking that far. Like his kids are getting older, and like in the next few years, maybe 5 years, maybe less, they're going to start being more aware of this stuff. Like actually, funny enough, he was at the Super Bowl this past weekend, right? With his 2 of his kids, with North and Saint, I think.
Oh, it's not North and South?
It's North, Chicago, Saint, and Psalm, like the Bible book.
Okay, so North.
So it was like West, old. So it was old South. Kanye, then God, like Jesus, and like choir Kanye. Like it just went that way with the names.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember because I can never keep track of the.
Yeah, it's Northwest, Saint West, Chicago West, and Psalm West. Anyway, so he was at the Super Bowl, and there's a clip where he was recorded with his kid. Like he actually was recording it with his kids, and they look like they're tired of him. Like he's asking them questions, and they're not even answering. They're just blank faced the whole time in the video. And he posted this video too, I think, to his Instagram.
I mean,
like I'm with my kids kind of video, but then that's what I read off of it, kind of. But they're kids, so I could maybe be reading too much into
their
it.
kids and their dad's like this big music person. There's like a picture of one of the guys from Slayer. And I think he's at a music awards, and he's like, "Yeah," and the kids are like, "Dad, really?" Like they can't even be bothered.
That's one of the funniest things about being famous is that your kids don't give a about who you are.
Yeah.
Like outright don't care.
You were just dad.
Yeah,
you're not Dave Grohl.
No,
God, you're dad. Like, could you calm it down?
So
I gotta get
maybe that's not a good example because he brings that kid on tour and she's played on. I think she realizes that.
But if anything, I'm sure she loves the access. But like Jaws D is saying, when it comes down to it, it's probably eye rolls whenever he does anything. It's just like you're dead. Like. You know, anytime a rock star is on stage and plays up being a rock star, for her, it's like, God, that's embarrassing. Can you please stop?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
like, even
what I just thought, actually, with those West kids, you're right. Their mom was on a reality show. Yeah. So they're probably super like, what's the word? Numb to it, for lack of a better word.
Oh, it's just my mom with her cameras, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what a horrible way to grow up. Just thinking, oh, that's just the camera crew that's followed me since the day I was born.
How crazy is that? Real
Wait,
life
you don't have a
Truman show?
You don't have a camera crew? What do you mean you don't have a camera crew?
Imagine.
They don't just follow you around?
Bro, what school are they going to? Like, I'd love to see like the conversations these kids have with other kids. It's kind of like what I would imagine Jaden and Willow were like in school. Where it's just like everything to them is this crazy experience versus the other kids. I wonder how they even relate to other kids. They can't go to school with normal kids.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No, because I was going to say, like,
you know what I mean by normal, but anyway.
No. We get like you're talking about like level of class and celebrity and all that type of stuff. I get that completely, but I assume those kids, people who have those types of lives, for sure have certain schools that they know other people who are also of same fandom probably go to. There's probably a hidden thing in their community where they go, because like I remember, I forget who it was, but I remember even Dave Grohl being like, ironically bringing up Dave Grohl again. Dave Grohl was like saying like, I went to my friend's kid's class, and I forget who it was, but it was some other huge celebrity that was just as equally interested in meeting him. And there was like a thing that
was
they had
on Conan's podcast, or was it a podcast? Because I feel like I've seen that interview where he's talking about.
Yeah. I read it, so I'm trying to remember like the story, but I remember I'm just blanking on the person's name, but I remember him just going to school and being like, "Yo, what? You're here? What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay." Yeah. You're a legend, but you're a legend, and like, you know,
we're all legends. Yeah.
We're all legends here, and then like all the other parents are looking at them like, "Fuck."
Just admiring from behind, like, that's Dave Kroll and Daniel Craig both talking.
Do you think like celebrities kind of like make sure their kids don't associate with other celebrity kids, like different, you know what I mean? Like regular parents, like you go with regular and normal because it's the only thing that makes sense. But imagine like, don't hang out with this kid, or like Jay-Z making sure his kids don't hang out with Kanye's kids. If we're gonna like,
that's a bad example. In that situation, what you're describing is like your like hood cousin who grew up and ended up being a troublemaker, and you're like, oh, I don't want my kids hanging out with my hood cousin's kids.
Because okay, you think Jay-Z really thinks they're that close? I think this is all Kanye. No, but I think it's one-sided.
They used to feel that close, but now they're not that close. So it's like your hood cousin. Like your hood cousin might be on some fuck shit and you might love your cousin, but end of the day, when it comes to how he's raising his kids, you're like, yeah, I remember how you used to pee against the wall outside when you were, like I've seen you do some ridiculous, wild, ignorant shit for no reason. So I don't know how you're raising your kids now. Hopefully you've matured and you're not acting like that, but I don't know.
Oh, wasn't there a new Kevin Hart movie out on YouTube on
Netflix?
On Netflix about that kind of thing?
The one where he's Wesley Snipes is his brother?
Yeah.
That was surprisingly good. I liked it.
That's out. I heard it was really good, and it's kind of like that dynamic.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That happens. That's the problem. Sometimes you have a family friend or a relative or a cousin that you grow up with that just acts a certain way. And then when you get older, you're just like, well, I love you. Like you and I understand each other. We grew up in the same situation, but I've grown up and I've moved out of that situation. And as much as I love you, you're still on some crazy shit every once in a while. And I don't know. Like,
I almost just spoiled the ending of the show just now with that comment you made. I was like,
oh no,
never mind.
Please don't. Yeah, it's true. I do want to see that.
Oh, that's true. You haven't seen it. Dang. You should watch it though. I'm
surprised
it hasn't been spoiled for you already.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the name of this movie.
I would say it's funny the things that you think would get spoiled, but because so many other things are popular right now, like Multiverse of Madness.
It's called True Story, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Like Multiverse of Madness is taking up so much space in the nerd sphere and TV sphere and media sphere, at least from Toby and I. You and I are both in those nerd groups. Yeah. And I imagine the rest of you guys are in your equally similar nerd groups on Facebook.
Because the thing is, how could you not? Like, we are so invested, by the way, as much as we want to like talk about everyone else, like we are invested ourselves. So when I think something, I'm like, I wonder if someone else has thought this and where their like thought pattern led them. And Disney's been doing, I don't know, man. They're like, they've invaded our personal mental space.
But can we say it now? Can we finally admit it? Speaking of being boring, even Disney is starting to look like the rinse and repeat's getting a little too much.
On which property?
Well, I mean, in general, like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Book of Boba
I'll agree
Fett
with it
fun.
In general.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett was fun, but Book of Boba Fett was essentially like we said last time. And if you guys haven't seen it, we're not really spoiling anything, but it's just a book within the Mandalorian story, which I feel like was kind of a trick. People have been asking for the story of Boba Fett for so long.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Go ahead, hit us, man.
I think in itself, it was a true spinoff, a la Grownish and the next one, where you still see characters.
You felt like, it was a spinoff?
Spinoff. Like where you still see characters interject and intertwine and so on. Just like how Different World was a spinoff of The Cosby Show. Like all that.
But I'll say this. Have you ever watched an episode of Different Strokes and the episode was entirely about the Cosby family? And
never.
You mean a different world. You mean a different world. Not different world.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes.
And where that, my answer to that is that I believe probably midway through when they had the scripter that's like, like we can't just have Mando come back and not really update people. And then by the time they got into like their little update sequence, it ended up probably being like a whole damn episode that are like, let's just make it a whole episode. To be honest, they probably didn't have much to go with Boba Fett anyways, because like a true spinoff, it was not so much that it was a continuation of actually, yes, it was. It was not so much that it was Boba Fett's own thing, is that it was a continuation of Mando, but here's what Boba's doing.
Yeah.
Homie's doing this. And they just had enough to give it a 6 episode, 7 episodes, give people their Boba Fett that they've been crying about for years, and just
but they literally
but that makes it qualify less as a spinoff to me.
Yeah, like what you're describing to me is here's this movie that you guys have been begging us for. We're gonna divide the movie into 4 episodes, and then we're gonna go back to the show that you were watching.
sounds like a commercial break before the next
episode. My true spinoff. I never said that it was actually perfect.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did not have a problem with it. Yeah. Me as a casual Star Wars fan, I did not have a problem with it because
no, that's fair.
Boba Fett to me, it was not this like Wonder Gore type character. He was a bounty hunter. He had a cool helmet. That was it. I saw him get eaten like 9 times as a child. Not really understanding lore, but I was like, here's that dude. He's gonna fly, make that horrible scream, get killed, and that was that.
So you get that one description of him in the movie where Darth Vader tells him, "Hey, I need this dude alive, no disintegration, or you don't get your money." And then he just walks away, and you're like, "Yo, this guy's messed up. He's just giving you ashes. Here, give me my money. Here's ashes, son." And it's like, no,
this could be anybody.
Yeah. Gotta send the ashes for DNA test.
How do I know this is the person?
This nigga just kill a dog. Like,
walk out on the street, get drunk, kill a random dog, come back the next day.
Here you go.
I'm the best of the world.
Why is there fur in these ashes? Hey man, you get what you get. Don't ask why. He's dead. It's like, no.
The guy had kinks.
That is one of the wildest statements. The guy had kinks.
But it also kind of, now they won't ask for next Boba Fett stuff.
You know? But like, I mean, isn't that kind of disrespectful?
No,
because for Boba Fett for so long, and then you do it in a way that, like, here's your Boba Fett. Shut the fuck up and never bring it up again.
Here's why not: because no matter what you do with Boba Fett, it's better than what he was before.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
That's no matter what you do with Boba Fett,
also
better than what he was before.
Also, on top of it, one of the reasons Boba Fett got really big was the Star Wars holiday special.
Yes.
There's an animated feature in there, and then all of a sudden he's got this dark voice. You can follow me over here. And everyone's like, oh, Boba Fett.
Terrible special.
Except that animated feature where Han Solo looked really weird. Looked like he was mad high the whole time.
Didn't Disney get the idea from how Boba Fett survives from an episode of Parks and Rec?
No, I mean,
like a few years ago, there was an episode of Parks and Rec with
does the
filibuster. Yeah.
I don't know that they got the idea from it as much as the internet had already thought the way, like, based on everything they knew about his armor, people on the internet had already theorized, well, if he was going to survive, this is how he would have survived it. Yeah, and then Patton Oswalt had to do the filibustering and then proceeded
he had to delay a city council meeting, right?
Yeah.
And that was his way of doing it.
And they never yelled cut. So supposedly there's like the full length version of that's an hour long or some crazy shit.
It's not that. Like, no, there is full length. I think it's like 5 to 10 minutes long. And then
how long is it in the episode?
A lot shorter. Way shorter.
I think it was like 30 seconds in the episode. Something like that.
And then like someone cut it and they animated everything that he was saying.
Yeah.
There's a version of that on YouTube, which is pretty cool.
Nerds love nerd shit, man. They will if you hide Star Wars stuff in an episode of Parks and Recs, you will get the nerds to watch that episode of Parks and Recs.
Conspiracy though. Patton Oswalt is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Disney. So maybe he was planted from the beginning to expose.
He's in. Isn't he already in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff?
He's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's now in the Eternals.
No, he's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's the voice of MODOK and he's Pip Patrol.
Yeah.
He's been in there. He's been living there. He's been living there for a while.
Money. Disney just tossing money at him.
No, he snuck in the attic. He's in the
Hey, Patton, you want to do another voice?
I think Patton's a front door guy, though. To be honest, I think the industry likes Patton. Yeah.
I
think
he's reliable.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, and he has that sad story where his wife passed.
Oh, really?
His wife passed away, and he went through a lot, and he has a kid with her, and he was by himself, and then he fell in love with someone and got married, and all this stuff. So he has this like really like heartwarming story about him as just a person. Plus, he's a public figure. So
and I've never heard one bad thing about the guy.
No,
knock on wood. Shit,
one more Marvel connection. He's in Blade 3.
Jesus Christ,
he's in Blade 3. He's the reason that we kind of found out that Wesley Snipes was like acting really like assholey on that set.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
He was the one that kind of like said like, yeah, he wasn't talking with the director. He only said like, yo, talk to me like my name's Blade. The ending of the movie where Blade's on a table. Wesley was supposed to have his eyes open and he kept it closed in protest, so they had to digitally put in his eyes open.
No way. Okay,
yeah.
Like I don't blame him though. Have you seen that third movie?
No.
What?
I haven't seen them.
I don't even remember.
I love how silly Hollywood actors get when they're angry on set. Like, how are you gonna keep your eyes closed during?
What are you gonna fire him?
I know.
Like, you're gonna fire Blade? My name's in the movie. This is the third one.
By the way, Dave,
open your eyes. Like that's just childish.
The third one is with Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel.
Yeah, like you're a grown ass man.
No, I know that, but I don't remember. I don't remember Patton there.
Oh, you probably
I don't remember him in there either.
Exactly. Like I think he's like he's in there. From what I remember, he was. I don't know. Was he a? I'm pretty sure he was in there. He was like the blind scientist guy, part of the Night Stalkers or something like that, part of that crew.
I could see that for his career at that point. Because like, what was he doing? He was doing a lot of TV stuff. I don't think he was on movies yet.
I was gonna say Ryan Reynolds was practically playing a version of Deadpool in that movie.
That's what everyone says.
That's
people
what everyone
always say that character is like the
biggest. What if that's how they connect Blade and Deadpool in the future?
Oh my god! If anything,
like,
what's that kid's name in? What's the character's name in Blade 3 that he's
Hannibal
playing?
Hannibal King.
Yeah.
But if anything, if that were to happen,
sounds like a code name to me.
If they were going to link that up, it would be through another Deadpool movie where during the cutscenes he'd have to sigh and like leave the movie to go to that movie to kill himself again and then come back to his movie.
Yeah,
that would be the best way to do it.
No, I would say take advantage of the fact that as much as that movie's not good, Ryan Reynolds' character is good in the movie, and he's definitely doing a Deadpool impression, and retcon it that this was just Deadpool, Wade Wilson using a code name.
No, but he exists in the Marvel Universe, guys.
Yeah. The character?
Yeah. Sorry, the name of the crew
is part of the
Midnight
Midnight Suns. Yeah, he's in the Night Stalkers and Midnight Suns. Yeah.
Night Stalkers, my bad.
The boy name is Henrique Kegel.
I'd go by Hannibal King too.
I feel like the use of variants can change anyone into anything. We've seen it done before. We'll see it done again.
I'm ready to have my mind blown with this one though. Straight up. Just with all the potential. The trailer showed so
I'm gonna
much.
be that asshole again, and I'm gonna
trailer showed so much that could just not be.
I'm gonna be that asshole again, and I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna be as wild as people expect, and I think it's funny that everyone's getting. I think there's gonna be some interesting stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's gonna be as wild as people are saying, and it's gonna be like at the end of the day, yes, we will get an Illuminati scene. The Illuminati scene might not be everyone you're expecting. Charles Xavier, yes, granted. Are we going to get Namor? Probably not.
The rest are unknown at this point.
I don't think they're going to throw Namor.
It's Charles Xavier. It's Mordo. It's probably like Tom Cruise, Iron Man.
Strange we're not going to get
or Defender Strange.
We're not going to get the original team. I don't think.
You don't think we're going to get Namor since like kind of setting up.
They won't
Black
waste
Panther
them on
2?
that and then just have them from.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get
random.
We're not. We're definitely not getting Reed Richards as in that.
Probably
scene.
not.
No.
Probably. Not.
I think they will. I think they'll bring the Fox dude back.
That's true. They could, but they could.
They own it
very well. Could
that's been brought up.
And you know, either one of them from any Reed from any franchise would be like, yes.
But do we want?
I don't want Miles.
Yeah,
if they go deep and get the one from the movie that technically doesn't exist that you let me.
Oh,
Dave?
the Corbin
one?
The Corbin one?
Yes,
that'd be amazing.
That'd
man,
so hype. I'd be
deep
hype.
cut.
I'd be hype. Yeah,
that would not be hype because it would make it a joke and not a serious thing.
The idea of these variants is that they could be anything and everything. It is a kind of a joke.
If anything, it could be
but not in the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The people that made that movie, they were very earnest about it.
We're assuming it's Illuminati. It could
just save that man's career,
Brian. No, guys. We're not assuming at this point.
Yeah,
we're not assuming.
It could just be a council of people that happen to have Professor X.
It has Charles Xavier.
Yeah,
a random council with Professor X.
I will laugh if they're like, "What's your name?" The team. I will fucking die.
We are the council of Kang.
So disrespectful. Oh, Council Kangs.
Council Kangs. We are his advisors. What if they don't even say it? We're his advisors.
Because at that point, if you guys want to do the last stuff, just go back to the 70s and grab up the Doctor Strange that they did in the 70s and throw him in the movie and around and start making.
It could be. I mean, that could be an alternate reality in the in the movie.
Sure,
like,
you might as well, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I said. These movies are getting a little repetitive, so let's toss some random shit in the mix.
There's been one.
I think we'll see glimpses. I think we'll see glimpses. Yeah, exactly. I think we'll see glimpses of stuff through multiverses, but they're not going to be like major, massive appearances. It'll just be probably us fans catching like, oh, that's that person. That's that person. Flying through or whatever.
If Xavier's actually there, I want one of them of the council to turn to him and be like, "Wait, you're alive? I thought you died. I thought some girl blew you up or something." Shh. No. He just waves his hand and they're like
that level.
Huh?
Just that level of comedy is.
No, if anything, it's
level. I don't know if I want that for this movie.
If anything, it'd be an argument like, wait, were you blown up, or wasn't it that like a Wolverine that killed you? Like, why aren't you like? Why are you
got a honey badger?
That would be
honey badger.
Oh, honey badger! That's
got a honey badger killed you or something. Claws. I don't understand how this works.
You know what would be the rudest thing though? If they did get Reed Richards to be in it, it was John Krasinski. I can't say his name.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, if it was like him for like a one-off, and he's like, I can't commit to the other movies, but I'll do this cameo for you guys. How rude would that be?
If you don't.
What if Reeves says, I can only sit in for this one meeting, guys. Like I got really busy with all this other science stuff, man. It just pieces out.
A Quiet Place 3 and whatnot.
20. Yeah. How you?
I wouldn't want him to. I wouldn't want him to be a cameo though.
How you gonna what, Brian? Sorry.
How they announced the movie in 2025? Like it's 2022. They announced the Quiet Place 3 in 2025. Get excited, guys! It's in 3 years. I was like, okay.
I think you're good at 2. You need to chill, really.
At the Quiet Place?
It's not so quiet once it's 3 movies. Chill out.
Not so quiet once it's 3 movies.
2 is good, but y'all been like, wrong. Come on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I wouldn't want John Krasinski as a cameo, though, to be honest. In that role, I'd want him to be like an actual feature later on,
At this point, just introduce a new actor playing Reed Richards.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you know what? That's if you're smart, make it the Maker, and he has a helmet on already. You never see the face. Even better. Drive people even more crazy. Get everyone big mad. So it's like, who's the actor? Guess you don't know. This fucking ends up being the guy
Daniel Craig. Hey, he was a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens.
That's true.
He's willing to do it. He's willing to do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, pals and gals from every corner of the world, we got our guests here today. The one, the only. He looks like he's focused. We're bringing him in. David Crownson!
Oh, yeah! How's it going, everybody? How's
it going, man?
I'm good. Good to see y'all. And they should cast as Reed Richards. I have my whole Fantastic Four.
Hit us.
Okay. Damn, I'm like forgetting his. He's a great actor. He plays Barry on HBO.
Oh yeah.
He was on SNL, right?
Bill Hader.
Yeah, Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Bill Hader as Reed Richards is not crazy.
Wow. Yes. That's actually not bad.
Not a bad idea.
you play like the silly fun side and like the dark kind of scumbag side.
Yeah.
And what's it called? I think at the time I wanted he can't be this now. I wanted John Cena to be the Thing. Like he can't do that.
Wow. Dude, okay, so you can tell someone has a bit of an acting background where they're making solid picks like this, and we're over here just picking celebrities for the sake of picking celebrities.
He was out here like, okay, so if I was a casting agent, here are some of the people that I would cast for these specific roles. This is their resume. This is where I've seen them. This is why I know they can do this. If you look at this scene in this movie, he brought that emotion to it, and he can bring it.
But I mean, he could technically do both. I mean, Dijon Hansu's jumping back and forth between Disney and DC.
True.
And same with whoever's doing Peacemaker. What's his name again?
Oh, the guy who played Myrn?
No, the director.
Oh, James Gunn.
James Gunn.
I think they give out like I think they give out like Marvel especially. They give out like special like all right I think Disney only invited James Gunn back because they're like the internet's a little too hyped about him doing Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
he walked out of that like Warner Brothers meeting all feeling himself. Then that big giant black car with ears rolled out down the window, and they were just like, "Hey, baby,
get in."
Quick, and they were just like, "Oh, you can do both." And shit. we forgive those tweets. Aha, you can do both. Aha. So like, and we'll give you holiday special too. Aha. But like, so I think like once in a while they'll give out like freebies. We're never gonna be like, yo, what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yes, you can be the new Robin and Spider-Man.
Oh, snap. Tom Holland as Robin? Holy fuck, dude.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, we said that before. We said he should be Dick Grayson because he already has that background of being an acrobat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. I feel like
it's not a bad idea either.
Really I feel like the kid who
it's like, yo, like you wearing these tights. Or like, I don't know why I'm playing games. Like, I don't know if I want to play Spider-Man in my 30s. And like, there's a funny meme where it's like his bank account's just like, what? I'm like, yeah, of course you want to play. Like, because there's a rumor that he's gonna have 2 more trilogies. Like, he's gonna have the college trilogy and then more Avenger movies in between. Yeah. And then
he should just why not? Like, why wouldn't you? But does he want to
new Robert
more?
Downey,
he's doing Uncharted. Yeah. It's not that different from a Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And Uncharted, no disrespect, it's probably bad.
Well, have you heard?
Oh, dude, it looks bad.
No,
early reviews are not good. Early reviews were not
really.
The reviews I'm seeing is just is 7s. It's just 7. So it's like it's a fun movie, National Treasure, Tomb Raider, all that kind of stuff.
Everyone's comparing it to those.
Yeah, one of the things
one of the things about it that I imagine that I've been telling some people though is the critics aren't necessarily the same people who gamed and are looking for specific shout outs when they watch the movie.
True.
And I feel like if you played the game, the movie might speak to you more or even less because you might have certain expectations that the movie won't meet, especially because the movie is supposed to be a prequel to the games, right? Like, this is how they first meet and all that stuff.
And then also, I think the director, he's done a lot of movies where the fans like it a lot more. So Zombieland, Gangster Squad, Venom, he did Double Tap. So like he's done a lot of more movies where people like it a lot more than like critics do.
Yeah.
So
all right, Siskel and Ebert, we're not going to listen to you. I'd rather listen to my homie next door.
Yeah, the user reviews are hovering around 70-80%. So
okay, that's not as bad as that's fair then.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but it ain't like like the Spider-Man No Way Home is about to like beat Avatar, or it did beat Avatar.
Yeah.
And
so insane.
Everyone's like, Spider-Man 4 has been trending,
ever
since we ended. And they're
Spider-Man 4 already made $100.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
pre-order for tickets.
And another Spider-Verse movie like already made like like $10 billion or some nonsense. So it's like, yo, man, if I could be Tom Holland's career coach, I'd be like, yo, listen, you can still do these independent, Robert Pattinson stretching
chaos walking.
I mean, we were gonna talk about it later, but I did want to go back to what you just said, David. I just looked it up, and it's at 760 million for box office. Spider-Man,
in America.
In America, yeah, sorry, North America. That's crazy.
Wait, 760 domestic only?
Yeah. I think worldwide it's at 1 point it's at like 1.78 billion.
What?
Yeah,
that's a quiet sleeper hit. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to make that much.
And that's with like movie theaters being like slowly closed and open and closed and
that's
open
during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
The world loves Spider-Man even during a pandemic.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like I thought
that should be the name of the show.
Yeah, I thought my theater was going to be like, because usually my theater is like 25. I think they did like maximum like 70% when like Shang-Chi came out.
Yeah.
But with Spider-Man, they were like, fuck it.
That's so true.
They're like, you want to stand in this shit? All right, that'll be $14. Like, yeah, freaking, this is gonna pay the rent for 2020 through. It's like shit. We've already paid off The Quiet Place Part 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like,
yeah, it's gonna beat Infinity War's record, I think, at this point. 100%.
Probably.
Yeah.
God damn,
Infinity War's at like $2 billion.
Infinity War, it beat Avatar. They think it'll beat Endgame, but like it's probably not going to beat Endgame because Batman comes out like in 2 weeks.
I just can't understand how it could beat those movies in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, that makes its like current place. Yeah, like it's first place to me.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, it really is.
There should be an asterisk being like, had theaters been open, it would have made this much more.
Yeah, like make it
adjusted for inflation.
Exactly.
I mean, like, come on, like, yo, my theater busted when Andrew Garfield just went like that.
Yeah.
You guys seen that video where like it's Andrew Garfield jumps through and a kid does a backflip? I like retweeted that and like tagged Martin Scorsese, and I was like, yo, no one's doing backflip during Shutter Island.
No. Wait, do you not like? Wait, hold on. Do you not like Martin Scorsese?
No, but I love Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, okay.
I take issue when directors I've looked up to are like, "Yo, fuck these Marvel movies. They're ruining cinema. They're ruining
the haterade."
Like I'm like, yo, I'm like, make your movie where you're gonna say the N-word a billion times, and we'll let it slide, and you'll get an Oscar. So I got mad. I was petty. I tweeted that and like tagged.
That's great.
That is great. Motherfucker who did Dune, I tagged his ass so fast. I was like, yo, no one's doing backflips during a rifle.
Denis Villeneuve.
You gotta be careful with that, boy, because
he's local.
Montreal.
We love
Montreal. That's where he's from.
He is amazing.
Yeah, I'm messing with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm messing with you.
I'm supposed to do Batman because I heard they interviewed him to do the Batman movie.
Holy shit! Denis Villeneuve doing the Batman would have been wild. Like, no offense to Matt Reeves, but what I'm looking at in those trailers, I'm like, this looks cool, but I'm like, Villeneuve would have added a whole other element to it. Yeah. But I wonder if he would have cast a different actor too, because Villeneuve, I feel, has a very specific. He has a very specific look for what he wants in his leads.
Yeah,
and Pattinson might have been too on the nose, having played a vampire, to turn around and play the Bat for someone like Villeneuve.
Yeah, like I think like he said no for whatever reason, but like I think they interviewed Ben Affleck and they interviewed Ben Affleck wanted like Roger Deakins to do the cinematography, and Roger Deakins, he's famous for doing Blade Runner 2084 and like a bunch of other beautiful
Skyfall,
films.
Right?
Yeah, Skyfall.
Yeah. Okay.
And then David Fincher was in the conversation. It's hilarious. Matt Reeves people who have seen the Batman, my friend saw it. He's like, "Yo, it's like a mixture of like Chinatown, Zodiac,
yeah,
and especially Seven." He was like,
yeah,
this.
Oh wow,
I was like,
I've heard a lot.
Yeah,
I've heard that vibe. I've heard that kind of like it's. You might think you're supposed to be seeing a Batman movie, but they're secretly sneaking in the same way that the Joker movie was supposed to be like. Some people be like, "Oh, it's the Joker," and then they snuck in this
Taxi
social commentary. Like this
Taxi Driver, and what was the other one?
The
King of Comedy.
Yeah. Like they snuck in this really, really wild story set in Gotham that you're just like, oh, this is way heavier than what we think most people expected. But it did well. Phillips is. I'm hoping he turns down the money for the sequel, but I mean, if I was offered as much as I'm sure they're offering him, it would be hard to say no. But he could pull a Chappelle and be like, I don't need it. It'd be nice, but I don't need it.
And I'm kind of not. I was gonna say I'm kind of not surprised.
He's doing it. It was like announced like I think a few days ago or something like that.
Yeah, I kept hearing that it was like they were in talks, and I was hoping he was gonna turn it down because I mean it's so well done already as is that I don't think it needs a sequel. I said on this podcast, one of my dreams would have been if they did a trilogy and it's him and Joaquin Phoenix and all three movies are different versions of the origin story that don't connect.
I think a sequel could exist within the context of the way that things ended in the movie.
Of course, you can tell a sequel. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's easily there. I just don't know if it needs it.
What if his Joker gives birth to another Joker? And here's why I say it:
his
Joker, possibly, but the Joker that Joaquin Phoenix plays, kind of didn't really want this chaos. You know what I mean? Like all he wanted to do was just get his. He didn't really like try to spark this like social revolution. It was sort of accidental. So what if an extremist within this cult following that he has now realizes that eventually, and that person is the Joker, like eventually, and we see that person's path to psychopathy through that.
Well, that's what Willem Dafoe kind of hinted at that idea in an interview. And that's one of the reasons that people got really hyped. Because he hinted at the idea of like, I don't want to play the actual Joker, but I would love the idea of playing someone who was influenced by the Joker, who starts to act in the way of the Joker. So maybe a little bit of a flip of what you're saying, but at least still in the sense of the influence created this person.
Right. Yeah.
So instead of just like one person influencing the Joker, it's like multiple people and multiple chaos that's going on in the city kind of breeds this one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because like when I watched that movie and with Joaquin, I was like, yeah, I don't imagine this dude being like this clown
maniacal
of crime. And also I was like, man, this dude don't know how to fight. I'm like, in 10 years he's gonna be too old. And
but Joker wasn't really a fighter though, too, right?
But he was still
Batman.
He was still physical.
He's still a gangster.
The only time I ever saw him really physical was in Hush.
Yeah,
when he faced off against Batman and actually like somehow stood toe to toe with Batman for a while.
But that's the thing. One of the advantages of the Joker is he takes punches. He just takes them. You could give him the craziest haymakers and he seems to kind of stumble back and he just laughs and keeps going. So I see what David's saying in the sense that Joaquin doing that in 10 years when he's touching late 50s.
He's old.
Playing this character just taking punches.
Late 50s, early 60s. Can you imagine that dude like stressing out this ninja that's been training in like and shit? He's like, all right, I have this for you. And he's like, yo. Like Chris Nolan said something really cool he had for his version of the Joker, and they were going to show it in The Dark Knight, but they decided to like scrap it and make him more mysterious, where it's I don't know if you guys have seen this in the new DVDs or Blu-rays that come out, but like, and I thought it's cool. Like he was actually in the army and was a rich kid who was like who grew up rich and he had a shitty father, and they were casting a dude who looks like that other old guy. So he's like, he reminded me of my father and stuff. And then he was in the army because that's how he knows so much about weapons and strategy.
Yeah,
and that's how he knows how to fight. And then they revealed that he was in Iraq, and like this thing that he has, it's when he got like there was an explosion and shrapnel hits his like face.
Oh wow!
What run is this? Is this a specific run you're talking about?
Nolan, the Nolan movie.
Dark Knight, Nolan, Joker.
I'm already like, where can I read this?
I know.
Yeah. First one was like, no, like it's scarier if you don't know.
Yeah, and then you just kind of dig in and try to figure it out. Because also when he's at the funeral and they do the gun salute, he's not in makeup at all. Like he's in plain sight, and he turns around, so like no one clearly notices that it's him.
Yeah,
interesting.
Man,
that would have been cool to see, regardless. Though I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that would be
I prefer the mystery. I think they were right about the mystery on that one.
Sure. Mystery is always great. Same thing for A Quiet Place, when that was one of the big things, right? He kept saying, like, we were going to show the monsters, but then we kept thinking, like, it's scary if we never show the monsters, or at least only show them later on. And I mean, I get that, especially the Joker. Not knowing the Joker's motivation makes the Joker a far more dangerous character.
100%. You can't pin him down.
Yeah,
you can't
exactly.
pinpoint him.
It's what makes him a wild card.
Yeah.
It makes more sense now that he doesn't care about the money.
Yeah.
I did want to address one thing, because we do have someone in the house who does this exact thing that we're talking about, and I kind of wanted you to kind of talk about it, Mr. Crownson. Yes, that's exactly why we have you on. I kind of wanted you to tell us how things are going on your side of the fence. And for those who don't know, this is the author of Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer that we have in the house right now, and kind of wanted to talk to you about your comic endeavors and where things are going right now.
Yeah, man. My name is David Crownson. Everyone out there, I write Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, and I'm the owner of Kingwood Comics. This is my publishing company.
Woo!
And we make indie comic books. And I'm a comic book fan and actor and filmmaker as well. And most recently, we got Harriet Tubman picked up to be developed for television with Prentice Penny, who wrote and produced Insecure on HBO, and it'll probably be on the Disney platform. Hulu, sometime in the future. I have no idea when.
That's amazing.
So
I have a quick question. How did Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer start? Like, where did you get that idea?
Yeah, man. It was because I like my background's in acting, and I was auditioning for this independent movie called Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't get it. Shit.
Which role can you say?
It was Finn.
Yeah.
Boyega. Nice.
Yeah.
Biggest thing.
Ambitious. I like it. I like it a lot.
And because I had been auditioning a lot for other things, and I had a good relationship with that casting office, so they brought me in for like it was a war movie I was being called in for, and I had no idea what I was auditioning for. And because they gave, usually for auditions they don't give you the actual script. They'll give you a script from like another movie. So just to see how you read. So like I think they gave me like the script from Band of Brothers, and it was like Tom Hardy's role. Yeah, it was Tom Hardy's role in like Band of Brothers, because I was playing a soldier, and so like I auditioned, and then they wanted me to test for like a lead in this. So I was like, all right, cool, awesome. And like I had no idea. And they said, hey, it's going to be in a different building. My manager was like, yo, don't tweet about any of this. About my shit. Like, girl, calm down. And she was like really intense, like, no, seriously, you can't say anything. And I was like, girl, if you don't sit down and have a Coke and a smile. And she was like, flip it out. Yeah. And So like I get to this building and it's in a different building, and they said, hey, like just show up early because we're gonna give you your size and it's from the movie, and we can't like have you can't leave with this script basically. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, it's fine. And I show up in the elevator and they said hit L, and I was like, L, that's odd. I hit L and it goes up, and I was like, oh shit, I hit the wrong button because I thought it was lava. So
yeah.
Oh man,
it started going up, and I'm like,
some James Bond shit going on.
Yo,
here.
I swear.
Yeah, man.
It like goes through the roof, turns into a helicopter, flies.
Yeah, like some type of Illuminati.
It was nerve-wracking. I was like, what in the Batman Forever is this? Like, elevator's going up, and the door is like open, and it's like Lucasfilm, and I was like, oh shit. I was like,
oh, L is for Lucas.
Yes. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, they gotta change that shit because that was nerve-wracking as hell. Get in, and like there's this gorgeous woman who's like, hello, Mr. Crownson. I was like, shit, where'd you come from? And he's like, hi, like, you know, they're still with someone. It's gonna take them like an hour to see you. Just have a seat over here, and here's the script. And it was like a couple pages, and just take time to like read it and get to know it. And I was like, all right, cool. And I sit down, and there's like a bunch of like every type of like water around. It's like Fiji water, smart water, billionaire water, Disney water and shit. And like at the time, I was working like 3 jobs, and I was like really broke, so I was just like, all right, thank you. Freaking like they had like Danishes and Disney, so they got like food around and shit. So I was like, yo, thank you very much.
Backpack.
I was like, that mouse don't need this Boston cream donut.
I mean, isn't it just respectful to make sure the food doesn't go to waste? That's how I see it.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. They ain't giving it to the homeless. I'm just like, I'm just like doing that type of stuff. So, and I was reading it, and like Jesse Plemons came out, and I was like, oh shit, dude from Breaking Bad.
Yo,
like I was like, you're that murderer from Breaking Bad. And like, and then the dude who played, I forget his name. He played Flash in
the movies,
the Homecoming movie.
Michael
Imperioli, I want to say his name is, or something like that. And he was testing for it too, and I was like, "Oh snap! It's the dude from Grand something Hotel or whatever." This is before.
Yes, yeah. The South Asian kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
is like 2013. So he comes out, he's leaving. I was like, "Oh, dope." And I'm like, wait, like these are like legit actors that like got in. And at the time, I'm like working front desk at this like luxury gym. So I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do? And I go into audition, and it's like a crowd of people, and they're just like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh shit. And they say, hey, like, well, let's like do this. And they ask me like just who I am and like what I do, just make sure I'm not like crazy. Mm-hmm. They're like, we're just asking you questions just to make sure you don't pull a Kanye West. Shit. And I'm just like, yo, like I'm chill. I don't rap or something like that. I forgot what I said. But like, and then we started doing it, and it was like one of, I forgot what scene it was in the movie. This is like a while ago. Yeah. And I didn't get it. This other very talented gentleman named John Boyega got it. And at the time, I should have been like, yo, this is cool that I even got to audition for Star Wars. But I was like crushed. I was like sad. So I like quit all my jobs. My mom was like, yo, if you don't get any of these gigs, you should come live with us. My parents are originally from Ghana, West Africa. So I moved to Ghana, West Africa.
Oh, wow.
And this leads into finding out about Harriet. First of all, Africa, Ghana is beautiful. Please like live there.
West Coast.
Yes. Do it.
Yes. Nigeria is like right next to you, so
my dad's part Nigerian, so like I got Nigerian.
Oh, there you go.
It's right. Everyone's arguing who has the best jollof rice, and I just like they're
all good. You just eat them all. Who cares?
They're all great. And then they're just like, but who is the best? I'm like,
it's a real thing out there. It's funny, but it is
for real. I'm like, yo, like, let me eat in peace. But yeah, so I think I stayed in Ghana for like 4 months. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do a detox from all this stress that I've had. And I think on month 3, I was watching a Harriet Tubman documentary, and I was like, oh, this is dope. I'm in motherfucking Africa, and I'm watching like Harriet Tubman on like Black History Month. This is great. And then like that program ended, and I was channel surfing, and I stumbled on like the ending of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And I was like, oh, dope, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Love this movie with the katana fight scene with Michelle Yao, Zhang Zi. Dope ass fight choreography. Nothing has touched that fight choreography, in my humble opinion. We lost him. Where'd he go?
He's coming.
I was going. Okay, cool. So like, so I was channel surfing some more, and I stumbled on like the Foreign Movie Network, which is hilarious because the Foreign Movie Network in Ghana is like, it's like, we are going to have a foreign movie called Captain America. What is going to happen when Steve Rogers is working for the wrong people? What is going to happen tonight? And I was like, yeah, that's
like
hilarious.
The commercials before the movie shows.
Commercials for the movie are hilarious. Like,
that's funny.
So they're like, so I just thought, I'm like, wow, like Chris Evans is exotic, like because it's Africa, so like he's considered like an exotic human being. So I never like.
That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective, because when you said Foreign Movie Network, I was thinking in terms of here and what Foreign Movie Network would be, but I didn't connect the fact that you're over there and like what foreign is.
I'm like, you're already in another continent altogether. It's definitely the other way around.
Like, when I think like, oh, the Foreign Movie Network, I'm like, all right, some like artsy French movie I've never seen.
Right.
Like when it's like when I hear like the Foreign Movie Network, I don't expect like fucking Dumb and Dumber 2 to like jump out.
What do you mean? That's the level of quality that America has.
I was like, foreign. I was like,
that's great.
I'm like, all right, I'll take it. But I think Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters came on the Foreign Movie Network, and I'm like, oh, cool.
That's actually good. I like that movie, the Swedish one, right?
No. This is the American one, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, where it's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
They play Hansel and Gretel grown up, and they turn into like they made it into this like grindhouse exploitation movie where they're hunting like witches and gremlins and demons. And I thought it was such a cool idea, but I didn't love the movie. Like the movie, I'm like, there's so many cool opportunities they could have done, but they didn't do it. So I was like writing in my journal, and I'm just writing down like my experiences, because I'm in another continent. Like this isn't like, I don't do this. This is like a regular ass Tuesday for me, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Africa. I'm like, no, this isn't normal. So I'm just documenting like my time there. And I wrote down like what I did for the day. And it was, 3 things kind of just stuck out. And it was Harriet Tubman, katana fight scene, and witch hunters just stood out and just jumped out. And I just kind of like looked at it. It was like, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Oh shit! What if Harriet Tubman like did the
That's crazy,
like the fight scenes of Crouching Tiger, but she's beating up like a racist werewolf? I don't know. It'll be Django Unchained meets Buffy, and the idea just kind of just lived in my head. And when I got back to the States, I found a How to Write Comic Books book by Brian Michael Bendis. And was like, okay, I got it. I'll make it a comic book, because like, I ain't got billions of dollars. I can't make it a movie or a TV show or a video game. I'll make it a comic book. And then we did. I worked on the story and like taught myself from the book how to write comics. And I've read comics my entire life, so it was kind of like it was a different way, because I have like innately I know how comics work as a fan, but doing it professionally, kind of working on like a story and crafting the story was also like another layer to put onto it. So spent like a year working on that, and then found Cortland Ellis, who drew the cover of issue 1, and told him like what my comic book was called, and he opposite side, or wait, that's what you, yes, that one, yes. Cortland, he drew that, and I was like, yo, it's gonna be Harriet Tubman staring at us, katanas crossed, and in the reflection of the katanas, you can see demons and witches and werewolves. Like, just go crazy with it. And then he was like, yo, we're gonna get into so much trouble with this comic book. Let's do it.
But wait, didn't you though? I remember something came out not too long ago about you having to sort of defend your idea online.
Yeah, like in America, you know, some black people were like, how dare you do that to Harriet Tubman? How dare you turn Aunt Harriet into a demon slayer? I can't believe you would do such a thing. Some black people were really mad. And then, you know, I think because...
See, that's why you need to stay off TikTok. Because it only happened because your video went viral.
Yeah, it went viral, but I was like, yo, I laughed my black ass to the bank because people started buying it. So I was like, yeah, keep talking about me as I wipe my tears with like money. I'm kidding. Most of that money gets reinvested into just printing more books. So
absolutely.
So I think there was controversy because people thought that I was disrespecting this figure. And then I'm like, yo, in like Asia, they do this stuff with their historical figures, and y'all didn't have that same energy with Abraham Lincoln. So,
like Vampire Slayer is a vampire,
a vampire hunter. So I'm like, yo, like chill, read the book. This is a celebration of who this person was, and you know, I'm still like doing all the research and reading about her story. To properly tell it, because like just to ground the story, you know. And then people read it, but also I understand where people were coming from at the time because we hadn't had lots of Harriet Tubman media. There was like a biopic that came out like in 1978, you know, with Cicely Tyson, and there hadn't been a Harriet biopic. There hadn't been a Harriet, like this is before Underground, this is before Timeless. So now it's like there's not as much controversy, you know, but people enjoy it and people like it. So we did
the art is beautiful, by the way. It's actually really well done. Cortland did all of this.
Yeah, Cortland did the first issue, and he did parts of issue 3, 4, and he did 5.
It's very, very, very well drawn. I loved it.
Thank you. Like
I actually wished when I was in New York pre-pandemic. Who knew we were gonna have a pandemic? I was like, oh, I'll be back next quarter and meet up with Mr. Crownson. Remember, I think I hit you up the last time I was there, like in 2019. I was like, I'm around, but it was kind of late. It was kind of not unplanned. So I was like, next time I'm here, I'll come see you. And then boom, couldn't go back to New York.
I was like, yo, show me your fitness plan, brother. I'm trying to get like you. And you're like, yeah, cool, man. And then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get fit in 2020. I'm gonna be on my shit. Like I am not gonna gain 30 pounds out of nowhere.
It's threw a wrench into a lot of our plans, man. That's crazy.
Oh, it
really did, and it felt so disrespectful. Like we held that party, the podcast meetup at the end of the year. We were planning to do more of them, and then 2020 came March, and then the world shut down over here, and we're like, what the bloody hell is this? Now our venue doesn't even exist.
It was a trying time. It was very hard to really like navigate 2020, I think.
Yeah.
Like when
David, as a creator,
all your privileges get taken from you.
Yeah. As a creator, what was it like for you? Because I imagine you did have plans for writing, creating, and all that stuff. So as a creator, what was it like for you to have to pivot or adapt in that situation? And what were some of the things you did?
Yeah, like I was supposed to go on a book tour, and I was going to be doing a convention every other weekend.
Oh, that's so cool.
And just kind of be just traveling for 2020. And I had printed out like a bunch of books, and they were all like in my car. And I was like I think I took a picture, and like my whole entire like car was just filled with books, and I was like, "Yo, ready to be out on this road? like look out, everybody! Like starting January 2020, we in this freaking Mr. Worldwide or whatever bullshit I said. And like we're gonna travel, and then I was supposed to be in like Portland, Oregon, in I think March, and that's when they're like coronavirus has been spreading. I was like, man, it's gonna be all right. Like,
right?
They said the same thing about what was it in 2014? Ebola SARS. Virus.
Oh yeah.
They're like they said
Ebola.
Like I was like, yo, I traveled to motherfucking Africa during the Ebola outbreak, and I was fine. Like, I ain't worried about no damn COVID. Like man, freaking Kendrick Lamar, it's gonna be all right. So like, shit. So like, then like the first case came into America, and the first death was I think it was in Portland, Oregon. And so my assistant was like, "Yo, I'm not coming," and I'm like, "Bitch, you're a porn star. Yes, you are coming."
Wow.
Nah, man. He's like, "Nah, man."
I've never heard that line before, but I'm keeping that for future use. That's amazing.
I can be very.
No, I like it. I like it. I'm saying
it was a good put that in the notes. Put that in the back pocket.
Right. Y'all get that one for free. Yeah, but like, yeah, people like my assistant and friend who was just like, yeah, like I'm not doing this. You know, like you're on your own. And I was like, man, you bitch! How dare you?
Yeah.
And then there was like 14 people have died in one day, and I was like,
yeah. I was supposed to come to New York to see. Okay. There's a chance that the person I'm supposed to do this with, because we still might do it, won't watch it. So I have to try and keep it. Hopefully I can trick him into not watching this segment. But we were supposed to take a buddy of ours for his bachelor party to see a Knicks game. And we were going to go down, and we had like planned a whole trip and everything and whatnot. And then unfortunately, just as like things, one of our buddies who's living in Boston was just like, hey guys, it's getting bad. So like, I don't think I want to do this trip anymore. And I remember we were making fun of him at first, like, bitch, get the fuck out of here with that. What are you talking about? It's getting bad. You Americans, you Americans are panicking. Meanwhile, we're in Montreal just like la 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 la. 2 weeks later.
Just like that.
Yo, for real. I went on March 15th. After everything had pretty much shut down, I went to Cornwall, a small town in here near Montreal, between here and Toronto, and went to Cornwall, and I went to a toy store and was like buying Lego, and I kept saying, "Man, no one's in the store. This is great." And it's like, yeah, because and like the streets were empty. There was like my friends, me, and the groom. We went for a suit fitting, and we're like trying on the suits, and the guy in the shop is just like, yeah, it's been tough, they're shutting everything down, and we're like just trying on suits, shooting the shit, talking about how fun this trip is. Oh, let's go for Italian food. Went to a restaurant. The waiter's like avoiding the table. We're like, what's wrong with everybody? Why is everyone being so distant? And no joke, like that's why I said it. I legit saw the toy store and went, yeah, and like ran to the toy store because I was like, no one's here.
Oh my god.
Running around the toy store, the poor lady at the counter is just like, why are you in here? Get out. She's like, I want to make sales, but I also want you to get the hell out of my store.
It was such an uncertain time. I waited till the very last minute too. I had a big trip planned for I think April of 2020, and like I was just like, it's gonna be fine. And waited till the very last second, but by that time, everything was shut down. So even getting your refund or any money back was like almost impossible because everyone thought they'd never get the money. It was insane. It was insane. I'm just glad it's kind of over. Maybe.
Remember when everyone was joking that it was a conspiracy so that everyone would be home on 420? It's like a big joke. Everyone's just like, this whole COVID is so we could all be home for 420. Like I had friends telling me, friends posting up memes like, if you told me that I'd be able to smoke legal weed in Canada on 420 while getting paid by the government because of the pandemic when I was like 19 or when I was in high school, I would have told you, fuck you, go to hell.
He's like, use a lie.
Yeah.
Use a lie.
Doc, I want you to take that story that you just said and just like have it like, you know, how you think it's going. Oh, it's so great. Da, da, da. And then it's like how it's really going. And you pan back and it turns out you and your friends are zombies just going about your daily business thinking everything's normal. Everyone's like, okay, just don't get bitten by them. All right.
It's like, what's the big deal?
And then
Before we
the toy store and you're running towards the toy.
Before we go into View the Right Thing, I did want to know you have another comic book you're working on right now.
Yes.
I've seen you post about it. Nightmare in New York.
Yes.
What is that one about?
It's about a girl named Zoe who's coming out to her family on Thanksgiving, and you guys know what Thanksgiving is, right?
Yeah. Ours
it's just not on the same date. That's all.
Ours happened a month before yours. On the first Monday.
Thanksgiving.
Sheesh.
Damn.
Next thing is gonna ask us if we live in igloos and stuff. Come on, bro.
I was like, yo, is it just maple syrup? No. Do you have Dial 2-0 or is it just Degrassi?
Oh, no, that's amazing.
That's a good one.
Oh, she's coming out to her family on Thanksgiving, and she has lots of anxiety about coming out to her family because it's different when you come out to a black family. So she has lots of anxiety about it, and in the middle of her coming out to her family, this alien invasion just erupts in her town, like some type of Cloverfield War of the Worlds level shit happens in her town. So she has to like survive this alien invasion and come out to her family. It's basically like it's like what if like Cloverfield happened but like in Friday?
Oh, that's
good.
An
I like that.
amazing tagline. Like one line pitch.
Exactly. Thank you. So it's a horror comedy, and the Kickstarter for that goes live at the end of this month.
Make sure to send us a link or something to that so we can definitely share it out on our socials as well. Looking forward to that one. Looks good from what I can see. I already see. I saw that you have cover for it already too, right? I think I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yes, Brett Parson is the artist on it. Brett Parson, he does the Tank Girl books here in America. And he's crazy talented. So we're going to do 7 issues of this, and he's doing all 7 issues.
That's dope.
And, I'm really excited about that. So please share it. Please support us, please.
Absolutely, we will. View the Right Thing, Mr. Holiday. David.
Yeah.
Watched anything recently that you'd like to talk to us about? Maybe recommend a favorite show of yours, movie.
Yo, man.
May not even be your favorite. Something you just found interesting lately.
Yo. What's it called? Superman and Lois is getting slept on. Well, actually, I think people are watching it now.
Yo, I say this every episode.
We had a little bit of an argument though one week.
A little bit of an argument?
Did we?
Yeah, a little bit of an argument because my thing with it is I like the show. I just don't like Lois being wild ignorant. Like you can't be Lois Lane getting mad at Superman because you found your kid in bed with a teenage girl when your kid is the one that should be smarter. And you're out here using the trigger, the like emergency save my life, I'm being murdered by a monster trigger to be like, Clark Kent, how dare, like with the sash of like I was like, what is this woman doing in this?
Clark's reaction was hilarious. He like,
sorry, my apologies. Your mic cut out.
You're fine. Like Clark like flies in. And I think in his Superman shit, and he was like, "Hey, what's up? What's wrong?" Yeah. He's like, "Your son was fucking."
Yeah.
Clark looked like he wanted to say bitch, are you serious? So what? Like, girl, let him get his dick wet. Like, there is a doomsday potential thing. Spoiler, well, not a spoiler alert. There's a bizarre, you know, thing.
It's not a spoiler. Go ahead. At this point, I feel like people have seen the post.
True. You should be watching it by now. It's 2 seasons in.
Okay, cool. Everyone, it's not Doomsday. They tried to tease that it was Doomsday. It was brilliant. It doesn't misdirect. It's actually Bizarro.
I thought that was a weird
and it's a pretty well done Bizarro too. Like, I'm actually impressed by the way it looks, first of all, for the budget, and just how it really translates. I like it a lot.
I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah, because they made like, it's like, yo, like Superman was like mentally not there, and like they always make it like funny in the comics, and they make for jokes. I'm like, yo, that'd be fucking scary.
and the crazy thing is, you're sharing memories, so he knows everything you know and where you are. Matter of fact, I'm like, how could they still be hanging out in the house? This dude showed up on your front lawn not too long ago.
Exactly.
You're not afraid he's gonna come back middle of the night while you're asleep? I mean, what's going on here?
Exactly. Like if that happened, because like he just has like his memories up until now, I'd be like, yo, we get in a hotel, because like every time this dude shows up, I get a migraine, and he fucks up my shit. But anywho, Superman, I'm actually gonna share. I'll tag y'all in this. I recorded myself reacting to Superman beating up this Kryptonian powered dude. It's the most like ignorant, like most vigorous thing in the world. I was like, oh shit, get up, Clark. Show. Oh no. And then Clark takes some hits to just assess, like, wait, okay, now I know what I'm doing. And he like does this cool thing where he's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I was like, oh shit, show me who you are, Clark.
It was actually
blows
the
his
fight
ice
scenes are dope.
Yeah.
Yes.
He freezes the dude. He's all frozen. I was like, uppercut this motherfucker. And he goes, yes. And then like Clark uses his super speed to just like super punch this motherfucker. And I was like, oh, he fucked your life. I was like, Peter Parker, because you're well fucked and far from home. Lost my shit. Like I like lost my entire shit. I've been afraid to like post it because I'm like that mouse might see some shit. Like,
it might look a little too wild.
He's like, he's like, you got too excited about you got too excited about that motherfucking Kryptonian. And you said nigger a bunch of times, nigger.
Yeah, if you're trying to get into Disney, those videos can't be in the ether, I guess.
House of Mouse.
Exactly. Like that mouse will shove those golden shoes in my ass.
Yeah,
so
100%. 100%.
What? He does have golden shoes. It's like, wait, what? It's like, yo, he has Timberlands. Like look it up. That's his outfit. Red pants, him.
I can't save you, B.
No.
That's so good.
I'm not trying to shit talk. They're actually very creative and actually like really nice. They're like, you can write as many episodes as you want, or some shit. And they're like, hey, like, because my book goes a little, it does go hard.
Yeah,
I was nervous about it being, I was like, okay, if it's under Disney, is this going to be Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, the very light-skinned version, or the very? I'm not trying to crap on light-skinned people. That's not what I meant.
No. But that's a good point to raise. That's a very good point to raise.
Like the watered down version of it, but they're like, no, like we think it's better if we do the equivalent of what the essence of what the book is.
Yeah,
you have to.
Because it's like anything less. And
take the impact probably in some way.
Exactly. Like take away like my book or whatever. I'm like, it's called Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Yeah. Like you should go hard or even harder with it, And yes, I did fuck up and say this in a meeting. I was like, this show has to go harder than The Rock in a porno. And I was like, shit.
Oh my God. What was the reaction?
Hold on. Can you paint the picture in which you say this? Because that sounds.
So anywho, we're having a meeting and we're just talking about which like writers we want and the tone we want to set with it. And will it be on Disney Plus? Will it be on Hulu? Will it be on FX? And all great people in the room, like Prentice and his whole team. And I think I was just kind of saying it very seriously. I'm like, hey, the tone of it's Django meets Buffy. It's the essence of all of that. And also we're telling a story about a very not only an insanely dark time in America, but we're adding werewolves and witches and demons to it now. Mm-hmm. So like this show has to go harder than The Rock in a porno. And then I was like,
that kind of felt like it flowed though, right? You kind of flowed into that.
And everyone's just like, yes. And they're like, wait, what?
Exactly. You snuck it in.
Like internally, it seems like I'm talking shit, but I was very neutral faced. Like I said, I said some shit, but inside I was like, shit. I was like, shit. Someone say something, or laugh at some shit. And they were like, you know what? This does need to go harder than The Rock in the porno. Shit, I gotta watch my shit now. But yeah, they're sorry. That's okay. but they're very dedicated to keeping the authenticity of said show, because if it's something that isn't that, I was hey, there's this group, this thing that will take over the show called Black Twitter, and it'll come in the midnight hour. It'll haunt your dreams and shit. It can either break you or build you.
Yeah, so. And I feel like Prentice knows, because Insecure was one of the big Black Twitter conversation starters. Lawrence versus Issa debate early on. I remember that was the first time that some of my white friends became aware of Black Twitter, because they were just like, who's Lawrence and why is everyone mad at him? And I was just like, oh, let's not start that conversation. Have you been on Twitter today? Is that why you're asking? They're just like, I don't know. I just see a lot of Black people tweeting about this and I don't understand. And I was just like, here's a show called Insecure. Enjoy.
I've seen grown white men argue who is Issa gonna end up with.
Yeah.
Usually when I've seen grown nerdy white men, I'm like, all right, they're arguing who's better, Boba Fett or Mandalorian. But instead they were like, freaking it's Lawrence or no, it's Daniel. And I was like, what? The answer is the Mandalorian. Freaking the hell is this? Sorry. I'm like,
we won't disagree with you on that point. I don't think at this point.
I was like, bro, I was like, really, like 4 episodes, and this motherfucker's just taking baths and remembering shit. I was like, word, just taking baths and remembering freaking his literally his dusty literally his dusty
that was one of the best ways to summarize how ridiculous they structured the show.
Exactly. I mean, and then his bodyguards are the freaking Power Rangers and shit. Freaking
dude
and shit.
God. We have
those are his bodyguards. I was like, what?
Wow, we have been inadvertently kind of shitting on Boba Fett the past couple
weeks. I know, and I didn't mean to.
Inadvertently? That's what you call inadvertently? The fact that you say for weeks to you is inadvertent? I don't want to be rude, and I know I've been quiet for a little while because I didn't enjoy the ride, but what?
Oh no!
Just what was that movie that you guys like that? You convinced us for 30 minutes by outright shitting on it. What was that movie?
I don't remember which movie it was, but yeah,
y'all know what I'm talking about.
There's an episode of the podcast where we talked about this movie that we liked, and then Toby and I spent the entire time kind of ripping it apart, but then they kept saying, "But it's good. You should watch."
Must have been Eternals. Must have been Eternals.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's something a while ago.
Oh,
I can't remember what it was. But...
That was like me with Man of Steel. I'm like,
oh damn.
I was like, this movie is cold and slow. But Superman, Henry Cavill.
I love.
There's hope, right? Fingers crossed. He keeps saying he still wants to play the role. Then you have a whole Captain Britain conversation happening. Everyone is hoping he'll jump ship.
Oh, he was my choice to play Dr. Doom, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
that could work.
In my Fantastic Four, I had Bill Hader.
That is too good.
Richards.
Wait, so Bill Hader is Reed Richards, but Henry Cavill as his Victor?
That's a contrast. That's a contrast and a half.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It has to be someone that's like, it has to be someone imposing who looks like a successful. Like I think it's because I saw him do an interview and he was wearing like a green turtleneck and he was wearing like I think like a plaid blazer and he had his hair slicked back and he looked like $1 billion. and he had just finished playing like Sherlock Holmes. And I was like, wait, the way he was just talking. And my friend worked with Henry Cavill on the movie and said he wasn't very nice.
No.
And I was like, no. And like, it's like, yeah, it makes sense if they ever do Red Sun, he'd be perfect for it. I was like, no.
Damn.
And so I was just kind of like, wait, he would make a great like Victor Von Doom. And I think I had Michelle Williams as the Invisible Woman because she's like age appropriate for Bill Hader. And I think I had Zac Efron I had Zac Efron as Mr. Human Torch.
Human Torch, Johnny.
Oh
Johnny.
Yeah.
And I thought my movie was cool. But,
it's funny.
I thought it was cool.
It's funny we're talking about all this because, and it's funny because we're also going to be going into the news. But one of the first news segments one of the first pieces of news we have is that Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto are returning for the fourth Star Trek. And the reason I bring it up is because at one point I read people were saying that Zachary Quinto would make a good Doom because he has that face of like he has like villain face. Like
I was about to say.
Yeah, he has that face of like someone that could be a nice guy, but ultimately seems like he's a villain. Like
most likely wants to kill you type face.
Yeah, like even when he plays
Siler
Spock,
back. Let's start the campaign.
So
like it.
That's why it was just funny that in this, as we wrap that segment up and we're talking about that, I remember reading about Zachary Quinto and the potential of the throwing him in as Victor, and I was just like, I'm not mad at that, but I do like the idea of Henry and Bill Hader.
That's with the news.
I'm a good casting director, damn it. I'm good like Will Hunting, damn it. Freaking go ahead, the news. Let's hear it.
Geek news and rumors, kids. As I mentioned, Star Trek casting, including Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, returning for the fourth film. There was a lot of conversations in which they may not have been returning, and I guess they have resolved that, unlike the folks over at Futurama, where, what's our name? Our boy DiMaggio is not coming back. Is that his last name? Yeah, he's not coming back for Bender.
Yeah,
that was
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that?
I mean, he's not wrong, though. He said he wasn't going to come back because they didn't offer him what he felt the character was worth at this time. And he said, I don't think I should be paid more. I think everyone should be paid more. It's not a matter of I should be paid more than everybody. It's a matter that I think we should all be getting more for this. If you're going to bring us back for like the umpteenth time and you want us to do this, pay us what we're worth. So
Bender is like a crucial character.
Very crucial.
I would dare say he's the most crucial character on the show in regards to like the show being successful and funny and
the randomness.
He set the tone.
Yeah, he really does do a lot of the comedic heavy lifting. So that's an interesting one to look out for.
To do that quote from The Simpsons when you kind of heard about Futurama, I'm gonna go and write that show about that sassy robot.
Yeah. That's always been the vibe. Euphoria hits another series high with 5.1 million views, despite competing against the Super Bowl that evening.
That's crazy.
I gotta say,
how
funny
confident
enough,
they were that they didn't move it.
Yeah. And a lot of shows moved. The Rookie moved on ABC. There's a few other shows that actively said they're taking time off because of the Olympics and because of the Super Bowl.
Bel Air aired on the same night, though. So I don't know.
Which I wonder if they did that on purpose because they knew people would be watching TV and were hoping they could get some of the like crossover
spillover.
Everything's streaming now. So even if it's just because they run a Bel Air ad? Didn't Peacock run an ad during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they did.
So if anything, that was a kind of like how Netflix did a couple years ago when they announced like right after the Super Bowl, watch this movie, and then it like almost crashed Netflix because billions of people,
right?
Yeah, billions of people are watching this damn Super Bowl, and then they all said, "Oh yeah, it's a free movie right after. Why not?" Click.
For the worst version of Cloverfield ever.
I'm not surprised they were feeling that confident because it wasn't when the new season of Euphoria came on. Didn't it crash HBO Max?
Probably.
I think it crashed HBO Max. Everyone's trying to. Oh yeah, it's on.
It's gotten really good. I don't know if you guys watch it. It's gotten really.
I'm
good
waiting till it's all done because I can't do this week to week with it. It gets stressful. I can't.
I'm just watching the YouTubers like making jokes about it. Just like, is this really high school?
Yeah.
It's an exaggerated form, but I think I've seen a lot of these types of scenarios in high school.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dave.
I was gonna say, have you seen those like funny like TikTok memes where it's like, I go to school in Euphoria and it's someone dressed up to go to high school, but they're dressed like normal, and it's like that SpongeBob thing, like, how come you're not in uniform? And like comes back and like some weird
the eye makeup,
all dark and messy and like coked out and shit.
Yeah, it's so true.
I saw this weird TikTok video of Zendaya and other people from Euphoria talking about the show, and then a little girl asked Zendaya what's it like doing Spider-Man and then doing Euphoria, and Zendaya's like, who let this child in here?
Who let this child watch Euphoria? I think that's the better question.
Like, your parents are responsible, and then she answers the question, but everyone's just like, what is this kid doing here asking this question?
That's why it got so many views, everybody, because freaking 13-year-old girls ain't watching no damn Super Bowl. They're gonna watch Euphoria.
Maddie versus Cassie was like one of the biggest trending things the night. And I was just like, the Super Bowl's on and people are still trending over Euphoria stuff. Wild. We talked about it before, but just to remind people, A Quiet Place 3 is coming in 2025. So enjoy the long and winding wait to that film. I look forward to seeing David's show before this movie comes out, is how long I feel like it will take. Fingers crossed. Possibly. Yeah, there you go. And then the last piece of news is something we also already discussed. Spider-Man No Way Home takes down Avatar to become the third biggest movie ever at the domestic box office, which is amazing. Skinny, congrats to you, someone who's worked on the movie, which was dope, dude.
Yeah.
Real exciting.
On the movie.
He's in the credits, man.
Nothing crazy, just technical support for VFX. Nothing crazy.
Still counts.
You're in the fucking credits. Fuck you.
I'm just for embodied in a Marvel film. Nothing.
Just technical support on like CGI for Twitter.
Yeah. I want to reiterate my fuck you.
That's great.
Technical support. That's a big deal.
I know, right?
Deal. We keep saying that. He wasn't even gonna post this, and I'm like, what do you?
Yeah,
share that, bro.
Yeah,
let the world know. Yes. That's amazing.
Share it now. People are like looking to hire people. So
yes,
I'll wait till the Oscar nomination, and if that happens, then I'm gonna.
There is an Oscar nomination.
Only if it makes it to an Oscar. It's breaking boundaries. It's technically the most paid movie, realistically.
But it has to win an Oscar. Over here.
Apparently, they said James Bond is going to beat it, which is
God.
Because is it nominated for VFX too, though?
Yeah, they think James Bond is going to win because they did very subtle.
No, stop it.
Oh yeah,
I know. Like the cars were CGI.
Did you work on that one too?
But you did that one. Wait, no way.
I love it. I
didn't know that. That's
like hedging your bets.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did that too. So
I'm gonna put 500 on red and 500 on black and just walk away.
The ball lands in between black and red.
Double zero.
Yeah, double zero.
Double zero.
You're just like, God damn it.
That's amazing.
Boys, David, I just want to again thank you so much for coming through, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you and having you being on the show. The conversation is always so much fun, man. It's a blast. Do you want to tell people? I put the link is scrolling underneath there right now for those of you who are watching this. If you guys are listening to this, it's kingwoodcomics.com. Go check it out and all the stuff, all the content's there. You can also find them on Facebook. Just look up Kingwood Comics and the Kickstarter. You want to give people the last rundown real quick about where they can find everything?
Just you can follow me at D Crownson on Instagram and Kingwood Comics and Harriet Tubman _ Demon Slayer for all other Harriet Tubman stuff as well. But the Kickstarter for Nightmare in Newark is going to drop. What's it called? I think March 14th.
Oh, dope.
And it's gonna be live.
Pi Day.
Yes, Pi Day. Pi. Yeah.
Did you do it on purpose,
I don't
or
know what that means? I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's 3.14 Pi Day. I'm not the only nerd.
Yeah,
who knows
it's a math joke.
It's a math nerd thing.
I love it.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I thought that's why you did it. I was like, it's such a nerd thing.
That is a thing here because I keep getting like a bunch of ads for ordering like for a large pie of pizza. It's like $5.
Yeah.
So
dude,
I was
telling you, you should totally play up the pie aspect and be like, make a pie that day that you like film yourself or something. Put the logo, put the Kingwood logo on the pot. I'm just saying, just throwing those ideas out there.
Like we're like laughing, but I'm like,
yeah, you take it. I gotta reach out to a friend.
I'm like, wait, like that damn.
Get that one auntie who makes the best pies in the family.
All right, like got it.
All right, folks. That's the whole show. That's it. That's all. Thank you once again, David, for jumping through and being on the show. Guys, again, shout out to Skinny over here. Just, wax poetic, calmly being nommed and nodded over at the Oscars.
Not me, them.
The crew with them.
But yes.
Not you alone, the crew that you are a part of and did hard work with.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, that's all I was saying.
Yeah, beautiful hard work. Hard work.
And guys, we'll be back next week with another one. Make sure you tune in. Check us out. Free X Agents Media, Geektastic Sci-Fi. And don't forget, like I said, you guys can check out. We are rerunning episodes of That's Canon podcast on the Twitch and the YouTube every 2 weeks on the Saturdays, so you guys can check it out. You'll see the content posted. And that's it. We're gonna sign off with the new sign out because we got one of those fancy ones that people have for the YouTubes now. So we're out. Peace, everybody.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.